So you mentioned a balance bike, and Brett,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, if it's okay, I'd like to share some of those images because before I got into this, I didn't know what a balance bike was.
I am a huge fan of balance bikes. Couple of five primary reasons. Balance bikes are going to fit your young kids better. I saw a kid who was about 14 months old riding a balance bike. Recommendations probably around 18 months old, but if you got a kid who's tall enough and has the coordination. But here's the fun part about a balance bike. If you really think about it, it kind of puts you in mind of that little car scooter I remember I bought for one of my kids when they were little, and he pedaled the car like a Flintstone car with his feet. Well, a balance bike is now just taking that and putting it on two wheels. And so a balance bike is going to fit a kid better. It's much easier for a kid to handle that over uneven surfaces. Training wheels become really awkward because they're actually leaning the kid one way or another. Balance bikes are lighter than a regular bike, and they're easier for the kids to actually ride further and get a little bit more distance and fun. Kids can start riding a balance bike sooner than they can a bike on a training wheel. It's lower to the ground and it makes it easier for the kid to develop more. Here's a side benefit of a balance bike. A little kid, an 18-month-old, can start developing more independence and more confidence that's going to serve them in life, not just riding a bicycle. Um, and then if you start a kid on a balance bike, and David might be, I don't know if David, you had this experience, there's a pretty good chance they might never need training wheels.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that was our go-to birthday gift for the 2-year-old at their birthday. So um, of course, my youngest, I've got a boy, girl, boy. So my little girl got a pink bike, and of course, my 5-year-old just got the hand me down from older brother. But balance bikes are great. If you get a good one, they've got solid rubber tires, so you never have any issue with flats. And yeah, I mean, um, I've seen a child 3 years old, no training wheels, just not my kid. My kids are about, closer to 5, but 3-year-old just boom, you know. So absolutely, they're
Yeah.
great, and it's a really way to get them started early.
Yeah. Patty, any bike buying experiences or tips you can share with us?
Um, yeah, I have two kids too. They're 10 and 8 now and going through bikes like crazy. I've had a lot of luck. I'm more budget necessary with the way my kids go through bikes, but we do bike swaps or go online and find good used bikes. But I would recommend to everybody, get to know your local bike shops and get their help in fixing those bikes up. And they're also sometimes like mobile bike mechanics or people that come out that know what to look for and how to fix things on these bikes. You may put actually more money into like making it rideable and fixed than you put into buying it. But there are also so many great bike advocacy groups that have bike share, bike swaps, and I love that Brett mentioned that bike shops will trade you up, and then you can go into those bike shops sometimes and buy the used bikes, and that's so awesome because you know that they're going to be well taken care of by a mechanic who has looked them over and has taken good care of them. So that's really key. We had a lot of luck with the balance bikes too, and then my son actually progressed to a tandem attachment that went on our bike, and we loved that. That was great. It actually was hard for me to get him off of it because I think he just enjoyed just cruising back there. But and then when he was actually pedaling, we always joked that he was going to pass me. But the tandem attachment was a lot of fun for us and a great way to get my son used to the balance and being on a bike that way too.
That's awesome. All right. Before we move on, one final question on this topic. Brett, just rip the Band-Aid off for us. What's the price point that we need to be prepared for to get a quality bike for the youngin?
You're probably gonna be in the $250 to $350 range for a good kid's bike. Again, the whole point is that bike's going to last you. Again, it can be recycled so many times,
I
either through.
just the safety factor of like knowing that it's like put together by a professional and it's quality, like that value's right there. So
Yeah, and here's the part where I'll be a little bit, the little mean part of me comes out. This is your kid. Are you kidding me? This is your kid. You're trying to spend $50 on a bike at a big box store that was put together by somebody who didn't know what they were doing. We get so many bikes that come into us and we find the forks are on back. The front fork is on completely backwards. And it was built at whatever big box store by somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. And the quality of the materials is even just, it's frightening.
Yep.
So
Yep.
don't be cheap. Don't be stingy. Get your kid a nice.